in all her difficulties, her tribulation, she understood her purpose with her child, and she did not give up. She understood that she needed to go and look for the skill that she needs to support the child. She understood that art is going to help the child, and she gave it to the child. If you know about Down syndrome children, you know that sometimes a child will need to get to the age of 4 before even walking. Now you have a child of 10, 12 in nursery 1. It's possible. But she has understood that, and she has accepted, and she knows her purpose with the child. Today she has an organization that does not only help her child, but other children. Look at where her persistence has brought her. To be of service, not just to her child, but to everybody with that kind of situation. Now, this is to say that when we find ourselves in that pain, it is light that we are receiving. Now, if she gave up, like, okay, because in the hospital, it was not in Cameroon, they told her that you can abort the child if you want. They gave her that chance, that option, yes. But she refused. Now, if she chose that easy path, she wouldn't have found the light that is shining on other people today. People are looking up to her now because she accepted that path and endured. Now, to be able to be persistent, the first thing you have to, like I said before, your purpose. You have to articulate clearly what your vision is as an artist. It's not just about I want to do music. Why exactly do you want to do music? Why? Why exactly? You have to know what is the clear vision. Am I doing music because I want to spread the gospel? Am I doing music because I want to tell the story of my people? You need to know exactly what your vision is. You need to understand. You need to work towards achieving that. You need to work hard. What do I need? Do I need to go to a school? Do I need to sign up somewhere to train? Do I need to read books? What do you need to do? You go to work and do those things every day. You need to master communication. How do I communicate with people in that part? How do I talk to people and they understand me? It's very important. You need to be open to learn. Open to learn. When people critique your work, I don't want to use the word criticize because sometimes criticize is funny how we understand it. When people critique your work, which means that critical analysis of how your work is, which means that it is good here, it could be better here. You need to be open to learn and understand that you could be better. The fact that you have the status of an artist doesn't mean you know. I saw a post the other day that art say for be a celebrity no means you get sense, which is in fact true because I see what so-called artists post online. I'm not like, than say, ma be artist also, I better no ever be. And the funny thing is that everybody's looking up to them. And then when they go and post those stupid things, permit me use that kind of word, imagine what happens to their followers. They take it for gospel. At the end of the day, where does it lead people? So you must be very, very open and understand that when you learn, you get better every day. Stay committed to the cause. Stay committed to the cause. That's something that shakes people off. Because you decide today that you want to do music for God, for Christ. You want to do it to promote the word. Or you want to do it to promote your culture. Okay. Once you see some other person doing it to promote sex there, and he has money, you simply just go off your course and go there, thinking that when you go there it's going to be easy. But when you go there, you realize that you have the money, but you are destroyed. You have money, but remember that money is never the end. Because even when you have money, you will still go and buy something else with the money. Have you ever seen somebody put money in their plate and eat it? Have you ever seen somebody put on money on their body like clothes? Never. You will still go and look for something. At the end of the day, you will get the money, but you will not be able to get the other things that you thought the money would give you. You will not get it. So you have to be very careful. You have to think, you have to be a critical thinker. Don't just hear things and assume them. It's very easy to sit in your house and they tell you that, okay, somebody puts on social media that Beyonce is successful because of A, B, C, D. Huh? You just accept it. That yes, it's true. If they have said this and she's successful, then it's true. What about you as a critical thinker? You need to ask questions. Now, if they said she did A, you have to find out about what A really means. Right? If she said she went to a music school, what does it mean to go to a music school? Does it fit in my purpose? That's when you consider it as a critical thinker. If she did B, what does B is nakedness? Okay. If I do that, how does it fit in my purpose? Right? You think critically. You don't just accept that, okay, because 1 + 1 equals to 2, therefore I have to go and do 1 + 1 equals to 2. Ask yourself, what does it mean? What does 1 represent? What does the 2 represent? What does plus even represent? You have to really think about those things so that you will not fall into funny things. Okay. The book of James, chapter 1, verse 12 says, "Blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial. For when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life, which God has promised to those who love him." As an artist, you have to stand the test of time, right? It is not by chance. Nobody makes it by chance. I know there's something called grace, but even to manage grace, you need skill. All right? You need skill to manage grace. If I come and give you 100, let me say, if I come and give you 10 billion now, right? If you don't have skill in money management, you will lose all that money tomorrow. You lose it all, right? So it's very, very important so that you don't fall into. You have to understand that being an artist is a race you are running, and in that race there are so many people, and not everybody can win that race. But to win that race, you must stay in connection to abundance. Abundance comes from your Creator, not from those in the world promising you that if you do this and that, you are going to be successful in your career. And in that part, it takes its due time to get that abundance. You must work hard for it. You must stay with God to get it. You must constantly pray and ask God to guide you for it. Right? If not, that race, you will never win. Know ye not that they which run in the race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run, that ye may obtain the prize. I think we should end here. Thank you.
Wow. We are feeding. You know, one interesting thing about knowledge is that when it's getting into you and it's shaping you on the inside, it doesn't feel like injection. So sometimes you feel like you are really wasting your time. It's when you are now presented with a situation and you see the knowledge at work in that situation, saving you from a lot of things, that you actually realize that you didn't waste your time. So I plead with us to not be in a rush. These moments are always moments that you give yourself a lot of excuses that, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I have, my shop has been locked for 6 hours now, and I need to go back to my shop. maybe there is something I'll gain that will help me recover these hours in no time. So you may sit here and an idea drops in your mind about or a powerful business strategy drops into your mind because you had time to brainstorm, you had time for your mind to be opened up with knowledge, you had time to challenge your mind to think beyond the box. So an idea drops into your mind that will make you recover more than 6 hours of time that you spent receiving this information. That's the difference. Because if you sit down like this and maybe they pick up another artist that did not attend this program and pick you, once you go on stage, the two of you may seem to be the same because after all, you're a performer and he is also a performer. It may not really seem like something has happened, but let a challenge present itself to the two of you now on stage and you see who better manages that challenge. That's where you see the power of knowledge now work for you. After this, you may take some steps that the person who did not come here, who ignorantly thought that they were the best already and didn't show up here, you will take some steps that they will not take. And they'll still be judging you for the den talker that came to Nbaka Artist Seminar. They'll still be judging you for that same den talker that they met at the pre-award show. Then another den talker surfaces in the event, and they're like, the girl now who? The girl, I don't understand the girl. They know that they have judged you and confirmed that this is the level you can hit. After this level, forget it. She cannot go anywhere. But they forgot that you spent some time learning something. You went and applied it to your life. And then the next you on stage is a different person. And they are like wondering, is this the same den talker? This girl is a mystery. Yes, that is the power of empowerment. Improving on yourself every day. I was just talking with Sir Baron of Bliss World Entertainment yesterday. And I said that you can never conclude on the destiny of anybody as long as that person still has breath. You can never calculate my destiny. Even as we are talking now, you may think you know Mama Z, you don't even know me. What I'm learning here is a lot of guarantee for me to improve on myself and on what I am doing. So if you think that by my talking here, I've made some English errors that will make you conclude that girl na just noise maker. You know, if you talk better English, you say the lead New Breed Africa. It do so and do that. The next time you hear me talk, it will not be the same English that I will speak. You don't know me. You have not paused my self-improvement process. You have not paused my self-development process. So you cannot conclude on my destiny because of my mistake I've made now. As long as I still have breath and I have that allowance in my time space for self-improvement, don't judge me. Because the very next moment you meet me, you might be meeting a whole different Zita Light or Atanche Zita. I really love what he said. Purposeful persistence. What are you persisting in? What are you really putting all that energy? What are you going through all the stress for? Is it worth taking all that stress? Is it worth going headlong with the difficulties and the challenges that you are facing? Do you really have to do that? Is that cause worth it? Is it worth you going to prison for 27 years like Nelson Mandela? If you will hear that Nelson Mandela became great because after he spent 27 years in prison, and you think that by you going to prison, doing something that will take you to prison for 27 years, you will just come out and also become a great man, a great name, and then you go and kill somebody, murder a big politician or a journalist or somebody, and then they catch you and lock you up for 27 years or they slam you life sentence. You'll be coming out thinking in your mind that after that they'll just take you straight to the presidency like Nelson Mandela. The purpose for his going to prison for 27 years is not the same with yours. So is it worth taking all the pains? Is it worth taking all the challenges, all the difficulties? Is it worth really trekking from your house to Commercial Avenue? Or you just saw Mama Z trekking from My 4 to Commercial Avenue, and you want to show that you also have strength. You can even trek from My 4 to behind Bali Park. So you get up from your house every day, you are trekking to behind Bali Park to show Mama Z that you can trek more than her. You have strength more than her. But Mama Z is trekking from My 4 to Commercial Avenue to see Motani, so that they can work on one idea of New Breed Africa or the other, or they can work on her music channel. She's going to fulfill a purpose there. You are going, and your own purpose is to challenge her that you know how to trek better than her, or you have more strength than her. At the end of the day, she will accomplish something that is great. You would have wasted your time, and maybe you will break down in health because you were just using up power for nothing. You were using up your physical energy for nothing. So is it worth it? We need to calculate that. That's purposeful persistence. Thank you very much, Coach, for this one. I'm really grateful. Scripture says that there's a way that seems right unto man, but the end thereof is destruction. Another says that the end thereof is the way of death. Meaning that you can still be putting on all of this energy, sacrificing money, time, energy, doing everything that would rather be leading on a path that is leading you to death. That's why you have to define that purpose. And then I always say purpose is the discipline master. Purpose tells you naturally, you don't need a discipline master in your life once you have purpose. Because your purpose will tell you the kind of friends you should work with. Your purpose will tell you the kind of things you should study. Your purpose will tell you the places you should go to and those you shouldn't. Your purpose will tell you the time to sleep and the time to wake up. You know that if I sleep for 8 hours like my friends, it will not work for me. So your friend is sleeping for 8 hours. Maybe their purpose doesn't require them to be up for the rest of the time that you are always up for. So they sleep them very well and wake up and it's okay. But your own dream you have, does it give you that leverage to sleep for 8 hours? Is that what you want to achieve? So your purpose is the discipline master, and you can't find purpose except in abundance. And in abundance, it is talking about God, your source. That is where you can find true purpose. That's why you can truly define yourself. Nobody knows you better than the person that created you. Even you don't know yourself that much. The person that manufactured this camera knows this camera better than the camera knows itself. He knows where he wired one thing like that. He twisted some cable somewhere. He knotted it with something. He screwed it with, but you don't know. You and I, we are just using. Even when you open and try to not even understand why, instead in this particular place, he used a screw instead of using a thread to tie it. You will not understand, but he understands. So God understands our purposes better. He understands why those talents we have are in us. And when we connect to him and get the right purpose and get to apply it in our lives, it gets us on the right track. And once we stay persistent on the right track, we have sustainable success. Can you put your hands together for Coach Lanjo for that beautiful one there? We'll have the next talk right away, and it's going to be coming from Sir Baron. He's the CEO of Bliss World Entertainment, and he will be looking at exposure in the context of the principle of persistence. Artist exposure in the context of the principle of persistence. While he will be doing his talk, I'll just go around with the little we have so you can pick something and just have a bite. We're not able to have exactly what we wanted, but we have something small that you can bite and have something to drink while he's doing the next talk. So please give it your attention. Now let me give you a little secret of not getting disconnected once you have listened to a lot of things. At a certain point, you want to help yourself to not waste the time you have already created to be here. Because you would have also decided to not be here, right? You would have slept or probably go around and just talk to someone than come here. Now you are already here. You've already created that time to be here. Make good use of the time. Make sure it counts. Let it be that after this place, you will tell yourself that I really had a reason to be part of this thing. So you are already here. Give it your attention. Give it your focus. And make the most of the moment so that you will you will clap for yourself after this for making good use of the time. If it's not going, just rather sleep than that you come and sit and then you are struggling to stress up yourself and you sit there, you are learning nothing is entering. That is how I see it. And I help myself to engage and focus on what I've come to do. I do what I've come to do. I gain what I'm gaining there and get my life better. So let's put our hands together for Sir Baron. Maybe you're going to come here, sir, as he talks to us on exposure in the context of the principle of persistence.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's rather amazing to be here. I think this is the second opportunity I'm having to be a speaker in one of Mbaka's seminars. The first one was a youth seminar. It was amazing. And I would like to say something, and I said this the last seminar that I spoke in. I said, if you are not willing to do, don't take notes. Don't listen to me. All what you've heard here makes no meaning if you don't apply it. You're going to fail. You're going to remain where you are. I mean, you're going to stress. So in the next 25 minutes or so, I'll be giving you my own thoughts on some specific things. Now, persistence was defined as moving forward with strength, I think. Moving forward with strength. And I want you to understand that there is a difference between persistence and endurance. Persistence is moving forward with strength. Now, when you have enough information and do nothing about it, and then you still stay on that particular course, hoping that things are going to get better, but you're doing nothing, that's endurance. Now, if you're persistent, you have information about this particular thing, and then you say, okay, fine, this is the next step I'm taking. This is my plan of action. I'm going to do this. If I have to learn this, I'm going to learn this. And then you do that and you move ahead. That's persistence. I always tell people that if you think that learning is expensive, try ignorance. Ignorance is terrible. It's destructive. I was home the other day and one of my daughters called. She said, "Are you at home?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I want to come and see you." I said, "Hope all is well." She said, "Yeah, all is fine." And for over 3 years, I've been doing some work in the lives of people. I've never actually known or realized that it was actually creating an impact. And she walked in with an award for me. And I said, I don't know what to say. In her words, she said, if the Bible was to be rewritten, you should be mentioned as one of the great prophets. I said, why? She said, I've watched you stay on a particular vision And I've seen how progressive it has become. I've seen how many lives it has impacted. And you have endured, you have persisted. I have to, relax on what I was doing, but that gesture gave me some energy. Now, I want to ask you a very serious question. Let's be honest with ourselves here. Do you want to grow as an artist? Do you want to be heard all over the world? Do you want to be known in every part of the world? I believe it's the dream of every artist. Like you wake up one morning to know that, okay, they know you in America. They know you in Canada, wherever it is. Like all over the world, you are trending online like others are trending. It's every artist's dream. But the question is, what are you doing about it? Now, I want to make a very significant statement here. Every message given to you as an artist is meant for the world. If you understand what I'm saying, you're going to get something from it. To you as an artist, being it a music, a song in music domain, or a spoken word, whatever it is meant for the world. I'm going to identify a problem I've discovered with most artists here in Bamenda. I'm talking about Bamenda because that's where I am. Artists in Bamenda don't know how to promote themselves. They don't know it. Now, I'm going to explain something which is a little bit out of context, but if you understand it and put it in the context of yourself as an artist, it's going to do you good. There's a difference between the poor, the middle class, and the rich. The difference is the poor believe that money is used to paying bills. That's what they believe. So they work hard throughout the month just to receive a salary, and then they pass it over to pay some bills. That's the mind of the poor. The middle class believe that money is used to live a prestigious life that they cannot maintain. So they'll have money, get some new clothes, set a standard of living for themselves, and as time goes by, they discover that they're having lesser money. Now they're struggling to maintain that standard of living. Now the rich believe that money is used to look for money. That's the mindset of the rich. Because to a rich person, money is an illusion. It doesn't exist. That's why they remain rich. That's why the middle class remain in the middle class. That's why the poor remain poor. Now, in Motani's one of his speech here, I was reading, he said, what more do you need to understand that for things to change, you have to change? It's very simple. Now, I can predict the wall of artists in the next 70 years. Do you know why? Because nothing is actually going to change. In the next 70 years, music will be music. Producers will be producers. You'll always receive a message. You have to go to the studio to record. That's how it has been. It's not going to change. But what will make the difference now is if you change. Is if you change. So here is the thing. If you cannot do something about your exposure as an artist, why then are you an artist? Do you think that at some point, once you have money from a program, it's just, get some new clothes, so when you're invited for another program, you go for it in a grand style, to do your new hair, to buy credit for yourself, to get luxuries that you cannot afford. On my quest for purpose, I had a couple of friends. Each time we go out, I tell them, I said, they always look at me and say, man, why don't you like to dress? I told them that the sons of Issachar in the Bible says they understood the times and the seasons, so they knew the best course Israel could take. This is not the time for me to dress. It's the time for me to put in some work, and that work is what I want to put in. If you cannot use your money as an artist to promote yourself, you're the dumbest artist I can ever think of. A lot of people have grown in the social media space. All right? The people you see them having exposure, the Frank Edwards, the Adad, the Ibens, and all of them, they have done what I'm telling you. Don't let anyone fool you to sit and say, just be doing your work. When it's God's time to expose you, He will. Don't. I was doing a research on Frank Edward and Eben. I went back to their musics. And from some of their interviews, I was trying to gather what was happening. Now, you see these guys tell you that they put effort in promoting their musics. And that's physical, financial efforts at every level. Even ministries, all right? They put efforts to promote themselves. If not, why are they on social media? You're on social media so you can get more exposure, right? Of course, that's what social media does. It gives you exposure. So, someone who has done that until he's become successful in it now comes and tell you that, oh, just be doing your thing, and when it's God's time, He's going to announce you. When is God's time? God's time is now. God wouldn't give you a message as an artist if He didn't want the whole world to hear it. Now, He gives you an assignment. The way you execute that assignment is completely dependent on you. Know that. God doesn't spell out every detail for you. He tells you, this is the grand picture. You need to achieve this. How are you going to do it? That's how God works. Have you spent 5,000 to run an ad to boast your work on social media? You did a very amazing audio track. Have you said, I'm going to spend anything I can to come up with an amazing video concept? Have you said, I'm going to hire a team and pay them whatever I can just so they bring out the best? I was with this actor in Yaoundé. I don't know, it's Mr. Pascal of Bad Angel. Those of you who have watched that series. The cook. I had a meeting with him, and in that meeting, it was just one thing that he said. I cannot remember any other thing we discussed in that meeting. And I picked it. Up to today, it changes my life. He said to me, Guy, whatever it is you do, make sure you make it professional. That's what he said. I've seen a lot of artists, they did. You listen to your audio tracks, they are very enriching and empowering. And then when it goes to the video work, they just, it's just to bring the camera, stand here, and they sing, okay, you dance, and we do some cuts, and then vote. Yeah, you have a music video. It doesn't go that way. Talking to you, I'm a music director. And I've been privileged to direct videos, musical videos. Not for my own artists only, but for other clients. And I remember this client, he told me, when he reached out to me, he wanted me to just help him, advise him on something. Because the person he actually wanted to bring in was someone who was, if he's in the room, I just have to be downstairs. I'm talking of Takong Elvis, if you know him. He's a big videographer, like So he told me that Takong Elvis was the one he wanted to come and concept his song, because it was for the wife. He wanted Takong Elvis to concept the song, so he was just asking me some advice. And Takong Elvis, because of his busy schedule, was not respecting their plans. I told him, why not give me this thing? I can do it. He said, are you sure? I said, yeah, I can do it. I've not studied about videography in school. I didn't. As a matter of fact, I studied accountancy. So he was like, I told him I'm into movies. I produce movies as well, so I can do it. He said, okay, let me try. He gave me the project. I told him, you're not going to pay me. I'm going to do it for free. But I just need you to give me everything I ask from you. So the first phase of the project was at the studio. We worked at Godema Studio. We took the wife there, took her through some trainings, directed her songs in at the studio. The audios came out. Even the woman herself, she was surprised because what she will give me and what I will brainstorm and come up with is something different. I don't sing, but I have the ear for nice music. I am rarely an actor, but I have a good eye for good video artwork. So we went through the video production, and after that, the husband did a launch, and he looked at me, and he was like, so you could do this thing? I said, yeah. The second project, after we executed the second project, you know what he told me? He said, my money was well spent. That's what he told me. And then I told him, I said, Grant, okay, I'll go start bill you now. Next time you're coming, yeah, I will bill you. I'm just coming back. I was with Mamazi yesterday. I'm working on one guy's video too. Was directing it up there. I had to run down there this morning so we could finish up the work. But I want you to understand something. If you don't aim for perfection, all right, you'd fail. Always aim for the greater, because you will find the lesser in the greater. It can never be otherwise. You can never find the greater in the lesser. So as an artist, your money should be into your work. If it means you sacrificing looking good for a couple of months just to push your work to an extent, do it. I always tell people, videos, to have a good video is not costly. The guy I was working, I was doing his video, he did not pay me. I just told him, okay, fine. If you want to do a good video, I just want you to get this. Can you do it? He said, okay, he's gonna see. I said, okay, do it. At that domain is not, I'm not even thinking about myself. I just need him to have something good. It's not expensive. Tell yourself and say, okay, fine, I'm going to get out there now, and then I will sacrifice. Listen, to do a good video is not expensive, but you have to sacrifice. That's where it becomes a little bit tricky, right? It's not expensive, but you have to sacrifice. So you should be able to say, okay, I'm not going to look good in the next 4 months because I want to save up to achieve this purpose. Now, I just told you there's a difference between persistence and endurance. Now, persist all you want, sit around all you want with all this information that you have. Do nothing about it. Your art will not change. You will not change. You will not go to the next level. It's that simple. My entire life, I've never dreamt that I was going to be a movie producer. I've never dreamt that I was going to be an actor. I've never dreamt that I was going to be a video conceptor and director. I've never dreamt it. But I understood that if I was going to get into this thing, I was going to get into it with full force. At every level and at every point in time, I need to learn something new. Learn how to use the social media. It doesn't cost you anything. Even if you have to pay some courses to do it, do it. It's important for you. Other speakers, they have talked to you about, your good, your having a good purpose in your artwork. I want to talk to you now on using that good purpose and exposing it out there. Expose it by learning things that you have to learn. You get to my house at times, there are courses I have bought online. Some will cost me my finger, but I have to give it because I need that knowledge. I told myself, the one thing I know that I don't have patience for is to operate the camera. But I took a course on camera shots. And I'm to buy another course on videography. I need to improve. You need to improve. It's not about you sitting down and say, okay, oh, fine, let me just be here and, once I post my video on YouTube, if it has 1,000 views, you think you've... No. 1,000 views is what people have in 1 minute. Some have it for seconds. I'm taking a course on how to monetize YouTube and all that. And I've realized that it's work. How many of you know Mark Angel? I've learned until I've learned from him. He was telling us something on a particular video he dropped. He said, YouTube is business. If you treat YouTube as a business, it will treat you as a business. If you treat YouTube as a hobby, it will treat you as a hobby. The easiest way for you to get exposure as an artist, if you can succeed with that online, you will succeed with it physically. If you can succeed with your exposure as an artist online, on the social media space, you will succeed with it physically. So, succeeding and promoting your work in the social media space, getting that exposure is of vital importance. Now, like I said, Coach Lanjo and Motani, they've told you about good habits, good character, handling fame, handling that exposure. Now, I'm trying to just teach you how to get it. If you don't know how to run ads, meet someone who can. I said, okay, now I want to put my money, I need my music to go further. Can you help me? Or what is it going to cost me to run an ads so I can have more audience, so I can have more people get to know me? Do it. You've had an amazing audio song. What is it going to cost me if I need to just pay someone to just come up with a creative concept for it? Pay the person. I just need you to give me something creative. If you have to pay someone to do a good video for you, I mean, aren't you tired of repeating the same cycle over and over? Year in, year out, you do the same thing. I mean, if we attend this seminar today, right, and we go back with all this knowledge, and next year we are seated here, you've not had an addition in your life, then you failed. Then you failed. I have less than 4 minutes and I'll be rounding up. All right? Here's the thing. Don't celebrate your success as an artist. He said something very important. Your job is service. All right? Once you're done with this, what next? Look for the next thing to do. Because the moment you try to start celebrating yourself like, oh, I am this, I'm that, it gets into your head and it blinds your vision. You don't see, you don't think straight. Okay, This man that I did a project for the wife, he hired me and said, okay, he told me that, okay, I want you to promote my wife's work, let it go out. I said, okay, I have people, I could pay them to do it. But again, I said to myself, why not learn it? So I engaged in learning it. And trust me, I cannot say I'm there yet. But I left from here and I'm here, at least. Information is power. It pays. How many of you go to YouTube and, for example, a musical artist, you just type on YouTube, how to get more streams as an artist? How many of you use your data to do that? It should be your culture. Anything you do, go on YouTube and find out, how can I do it? If it gets to a level where your information, the information there is limited, you search for courses that you can spend your money. Remember, see, if you think knowledge is expensive, try ignorance. Ignorance is destructive. Spend your 5,000 francs, buy a course that is going to empower you as a person and give you skills that you are never going to lose in your entire life. That's what you need to grow. Do you know the difference between the person that takes the first position in class and the one that takes the second or the last position in class? The difference is simple. The one that takes the first position knows something that the one that takes the last position doesn't know. So do you know the difference between an artist who succeeds and an artist who fails? The one who succeeds knows something that the one who is failing don't know. This is all I have for you. Be wise and make use of the social media space. Spend your money wisely. Spend your resources wisely to put it in your work, because that's your future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Baron, for that beautiful one. We should aim, because in the bigger is the lesser. But you will not get the bigger in the lesser. The lesser is in the bigger. The bigger is not going to be gotten in the lesser. But you can make the lesser to become bigger by putting in all the effort he has said. Study about what you're doing. Spend time to study about it. Read. Listen to other people about it. Watch videos online about it. And use it to educate yourself. Some people don't know that I've actually been the leader of a dance crew for years. A dance crew with a lot of impact. And we're practicing from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day. When we get up in the house, we do all the work we are supposed to do in the house if we are not going to the farm. We start our rehearsals from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day. I mean, every day. We'll go online, watch You Got Served, watch all kind of dance crews perform, and then we add to that which we have. We will sit and create styles, practice, get ready at any moment for anything. And we could go to a concert and dance for 6 hours straight on stage without giving a break. I mean 6 hours. When we are off the stage, your dress is as wet as someone poured water on you. Because we are on stage non-stop until the concert is done. We will dance everything that they call dance. That makes sense in the eyes of human beings. If it is hip-hop, we will do it. If it is Njang, we're there. Makosa, we're there. we will mix the dance steps. We will dance hip hop in Makosa, and it will go. People will be wondering what's happening. We will take Njang and put in hip hop and do something that they will look at us on stage like this and be wondering. There is nothing you cannot achieve with your career if you choose to invest your time to learn and practice what is necessary about it. Trust me. We went to Fontem for a move. We had, after the concert, we danced for 6 straight hours. After we finished, we went to their lone nightclub at that time. I don't know whether they have some there now. We went to their lone nightclub. The person that was keeping us there was the SDO for that place. So when we went into their nightclub, we just told the DJ there that we are gospel artists, we are from this and this place. We have something that we want to do between now and 2 a.m. From 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., we removed their DJ from there. We put our set of gospel songs. We stepped on the dance floor and handled it for 4 hours. When we finished, the nightclub closed. The next nightclub now was at the SDO's restaurant. They followed us there to see what kind of human beings we were. When we left Fontem and came to Bamenda, after 1 week, a crew of boys, we're just girls in my crew. We're just girls. But when we dance, you would think that the people that were dancing were boys because the energy and everything, if we want to do it, let's do it. If we are not doing it, let's leave it. That was our principle. They left Fontem, transported themselves to Bamenda to come and practice with us. They did not call us before coming because they knew we would say no. So they came to Bamenda without knowing where they would go and then called us that they were in Bamenda. They want to come and practice with us for 1 week. The impact of just dancing, I did not say, come and give your life to Jesus. I danced a gospel song. And a dancer that is not a born again left Fontem and looked for me in Bamenda. By the time we're done with them for 1 week, all of them that I have been able to trace today, all of them are born again and serving in the house of God. Some are drummers, some are pastors. Dance. So you see how Coach Lanjo was talking about the power of arts, the spirituality of arts. We didn't have to tell them that we're born again for them to become one. We just needed to allow the spirituality of our dance to pull them from their space and bring them to the right space to serve God with what they have. So we have to invest in it. The fact that you are a child of God or you are a Christian doesn't mean you should be lazy about your arts. This is one thing we crack down every moment, especially on this platform. That's why we have a mixture of both Christian and secular artists that we reach out to. The energy that the secular artists put into their work is lacking with the gospel. The gospel has the right purpose. The secular has the right energy. So you bring them together, there's that exchange. This one learns purpose from the one that's gospel. The one that's gospel now learns energy from the one that's secular. We put the two together, we become magic to the world. That's how we are supposed to, that's why we operate like this. We are not supposed to be sleeping with what we have. We shouldn't. There's been an argument for like a week or two on social media, people talking about, because this girl is simply a secular musician, she has the right to dress anyhow because her arts probably demands that. I say it is a fat lie. The fact that you don't call the name of God or you don't submit to God or submit to Jesus or say this, that you are born again, does not mean that you should do anything with your arts. The power of art is in the hands of every musician, every artist, born again or are you leading them to? What kind of a society are you building by the arts that you are doing? And how can you get to that point of doing that? That's why we need these moments. But those people will never have time to sit like this. They will tell you, it's my art, it's my art. Tomorrow you get married, you give birth to children. They go online and see it's my art, it's my art. They start dressing like that. You start whipping them up and telling them, no, don't dress like that. Oh, don't do like this. Meanwhile, you are the perfect example they are following. You are telling them, don't do this. Meanwhile, you are doing it and publicizing it. It means that you are the one that's mad. So they will go even behind you, even if they pretend in front of you. They will take dresses, extra dresses from the house. When they are away from you, they change into those clothes. They want to be like this and show her breast like this. She used to be like this and show her buttocks like this. So she wants to represent mama in public. Now you are ashamed of your own daughter. You are ashamed of your own product. You gave birth to it. We complain our girls are walking the streets naked. Who projects it? Coach said that what you show them, they take it for gospel. Because they love you. You are their icon. You are their model. So whatever you do, they see that this thing you are doing is worth emulating. So you cannot be complaining of an indecent society. Oh, the girls are dressing like this. This generation is mad. Your music video, what are you showing there? How many of those girls there are only on pants? And then you want to tell your daughter, your neighbor's daughter, not to be on pants on the street. You are mad. You are the one that is really mad. That is principle. When you put the principle in place, the result is natural. You cannot be putting the principle in place and then praying that the result should never come. You are wasting your time. You cannot plant corn and then you go and sleep on your bed every day. God, let beans come out. Let beans come out. Let beans come out. Let beans come out. You are mad, eh? I always say that let me use the word maddest. The maddest people in this world are artists who know how for craze. Better craze where pass they pick paper for streets. You will see somebody like this, only their music video. You watch like this, you are ashamed of yourself. You are ashamed to look at it with your daughter in the house. But the first person to complain about the young girls dressing with cyclists on the street are them. The first people to get these young girls dance anyhow naked with bras and only pants in their videos, not them. So where are we going to? Who are we fooling? Who are we fooling at the end of the day? The power of art is in our hands. All of us, secular or gospel, use it to do the right thing. If you have the right thing to do with it, put in your energy to perfect it so that you will not be doing it and let people be bending their heads under the tables. They should confidently look at you and enjoy what you are doing and allow you carry them into the world of what you are doing. Let it be having an impact in their lives. So at this point, we are going to invite somebody who by experience of many, many years, some of us have not even lived for up to the number of years he has been in the world of arts. Let's listen to him by experience. Talk to us about the principle of persistence in building a successful career. He's been there for years. He has not quitted. He's there. And he's not just making impact alone. He has started holding the hands of other young people to make them to succeed in it, the road that he has traveled. He has been Africa's best actor. He has seen awards that some actors and actresses who think they are on top of the world in this, our Bamenda and Cameroon, they may not be able to reach. But he's still himself. and he's still working. Seminars you attend, workshops you attend. He tries to be a part of things like this at every moment. He's a father to many and to us, but he still thinks that there's room for learning. He still thinks there's room to get better at what you do. He's already best at what he does, but he still believes that there's better of the best. He's still on the lane. So he will speak to us from his personal experience. And when he will be done, we'll just watch a short interview, and that will be the end of the seminar today. So let's listen to Mr. Vuga Samson. For the next 20 minutes, he will share with us his experience in the world of arts with the principle of persistence. Please put your hands together for Mr. Vuga Samson, a.k.a. Grandpa.
Silver I have not. Gold I have not. The vehicles that you expect from a superstar, you will not see it. I'm sure many people have been asked, why is this man, they always talk he's trekking. You see me trekking. That is my lifestyle. Don't question me. What am I doing the arts for? I came to realize that art is for transformation. If you do art and you're not doing it for to transform the society, then that's no art. And that is why, some artists, they engage in order to satisfy human beings, in order to sing and please people, for a particular purpose, so that they should give them money. Now, what is money? Money is nothing. So I came to realize that it's better to build a legacy in people than in buildings and mansions. Discomfort breeds growth. If you go to the grave, that's the richest place on planet Earth. What language do we speak like artists? At one time, I used to make a mistake and speak a language, and I think that is a language of pride, a language of unhealthy competition. But I came to realize that you should speak the language of selflessness. You should have love for what you do as art. Am I doing something that would transform people? My music, my acting, will it transform somebody? Am I inspiring somebody? If I'm not motivating somebody, then I should not do it. How do you explain the fact that there are some songs that people listen now and they are moved? There are songs that were produced years ago. What is making those songs to have that weight? Why is it that some songs that they produce now, you can call the big names, but where are the Jimmy Cliffs? Listen to the Jimmy Cliffs and all those guys, and listen to what some of these so-called popular artists and superstars are singing now, and ask yourself, what is the difference? Are you doing art because of somebody? You hear that somebody he has made this, has been given this award, so I must also become a star overnight. Before you were born, you were already a star. If you don't know. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. Before you were conceived in your mother's womb, I had plans for you. Plans of what? Prosperity and not destruction. And a good future you hope for. If you know that, then when somebody releases a song or does something, you hear that somebody has succeeded. Say, oh, thank you, Jesus, for this person. I know my own time is coming. I came to realize that there are times and seasons. Somebody asked me sometime in the past, Grandpa, why is it that you don't have awards? Yes. I've seen you doing so many things. I have pictures here. Organizing competitions for schools, going to Tange soon for this principal of GBHS, Bamendankwe. He came to CPC Bali with David Chuye Bunyi. At that time was informed too. They did a performance on stage and he called me From that day, I decided, I saw myself getting somewhere. Even though the sciences, I was there pushing, hoping to become a medical doctor. But there was. I'm not saying that people should not go to school. If your little one is saying that he wants to drop from school to do the arts, whip that one. Yes, there are musicians, celebrated musicians who are mathematicians, serious mathematicians. There are writers who are mathematicians, Sander Eber and others. There are medical doctors who are comedians. So who tells you that you cannot engage in the arts when you are doing the sciences? That's why I tell my students every day, but remember, you have to study. Study as far as you can go. Study. It will help you in your arts. What language do you speak? Are you speaking the language of pride? Are you speaking the language of jealousy? They say music is a universal language. So when you are jealous or you have pride, is that a universal language? But selflessness is a universal language. If you know that my getting to the top is to solve a problem in the society, that money will not, you not look at it in a way. When you call friends and organize big parties, celebrating on red carpet, that's why I hate all those things. That's why when they start, you see some of these places, they start talking, all these come here and do all of this. Like the Nigerians, they come and all of this. At one time I said, okay, if I only have to act with Nigerians to become a celebrity, I will not do it. Why? Because when they were producing peace offering at that time, I remember when Mama G came, I was at the Congress Hall. One of those at the gate collecting, the money was entering. While others entered the car to move her around the town, were there collecting. We collected, but I did not take a franc and put into my pocket. I told all those guys, we keep this money. They came, we handed it. Call it ignorance at that time. We handed it to them, hoping to get our 10%. That till today, I've not yet had it. I was told that to act in peace offering, I have to pay 50,000. Pa Chop of his dad, he had a production house, Africa Roots. At that time, so people were hot, paying money to act. I said, what? Then Tangen Sumfo acted as king in the production with Patience Ozukwa as a queen. She took 3 million, but my brother and my father was given nothing. What sense does it make? Pa Young had put in about 25 million. A year 18 to 25 million. At the end of it all, what was left with him were many CDs. When the guy had gone to Nigeria, sold it there with another title, they came, brought many CDs, they did production. Tell me how Pa Young was going to promote the industry. Because some young people, at that time, they were thinking of themselves. So I would say that over the years, I've realized something. We don't have problems with our nation. It's not because we don't have producers, we don't have money, but it's because of dishonesty. Our characters are questionable. If we had people in the industry who had the fear of the Lord, and they were speaking the language of the fruits of the Spirit, we will not be where we are. Nigeria is doing these things because people have the fear of the Lord. The people who put money in the arts are people who have the fear of the Lord. And when you say somebody bless this, if I know that I will give you this money as a young artist and you do something and you explode, I will give it selflessly with that thinking. It's not my brother or my sister or not from my tribe. What happened in the Tower of Babel? When people were scattered, you had different languages. It's not that Mungaka or all of that, that's the language that we should speak. If we speak the language of love, especially as artists, because we are creators, we are made in his image and likeness. If we are creating, are we mirrors of the society? I keep asking myself at times, that before you do what you are doing, are you thinking that I'm a mirror? What account will you give to God? Or you don't know that there's a time that will give an account? If you think about that as an artist, even what you produce, you think about it. The lyrics of your song. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I'm trying everything possible. I must ask myself that this thing, will it lead people or it will spoil them? There was a time this thing that went viral, they called it Awan Nak Yankanda. Fine. You know, there were lines that, you know, somebody gave, okay. But when that thing went like that, some young guys took and made a video or whatever like that. I told them when I met some, I said, look at you. The language was, Awan Nak Yankanda. In no piece say, Abidon Nak Denkanda. There are two different things. I want, no be say, I did knock him or I don't knock Yankanda. I want knock Yankanda. But you can see how, you know, misconception, you know, people see me somewhere, you know, somebody sees me, you know, he's talking, somebody will see me at the road, they talk, you understand? But the point is that they have finally discovered that my life is not even that way. I'm just the opposite. So the question is, should we not play the bad and the ugly in a production? If a production is just the good, like a movie or a stage play, okay, will it be interesting? There must be the good, the bad, and the ugly. Who plays now the ugly? There should be people who are highly spiritual. If not, you are going to be caught by the ugly. And that is why I decided, I gave my life 2016. I truly said, no, Jesus, you are my champion. That's my role model. That's it. And since I did that, I've not been struggling. But I do not have the cars that you expect of somebody like this. Somebody will say, Grandpa, you are moving on Lexa, all of that. Was I doing it because I was looking at somebody? Well, my purpose of getting into the arts is to get something so that people should see me. That's why I'm also a teacher. I saw that, okay, teaching and arts, you know, everything you know, you are teaching on stage, you are teaching people through your actions. So I must be an example. That's why I tell my students in class, when I enter the class, I'm different from that person that you watch in the film. This is a class teacher. Any indiscipline, I bring you under submission. So over the years, I went to Kuta Matapi. I should have surrendered. I remember the women that we went at that time. I don't know where some are. I have pictures. There's a film that we did with a Nigerian, Oscar Benson. He came, Agor Gilbert, you know, was the one he brought him to Bamenda. We went to Ideal Park Hotel. People were coming. At that time, filmmaking, wonderful. What? Everybody was hot. They came there, mothers, fathers, coming for audition. And they told them, you know, people have to pay money. Pay it. The payment was not easy. Oscar Benson collected something. He even as went to Fumba. I remember one lady in the market, she contributed 400,000. At that time. That was what gave birth to the National Actors Guild of Cameroon, NACAM. When we went to Fumban at Kuta Matapi, I've never seen a production like that. Chai! I still have some pictures. I was looking for the pictures to bring here so that you should see what people have experienced. The water that we're drinking on that hill in Fumban, there's that place they go to Fumban as for Kuta Matapi. There were huts on the hills like that. These Fulanis, you come inside, there are charms inside. We're sleeping, you know, around there. There was a stream passing. Meningitis spared us. It was by God's grace. At that time, I was staying at Sonak Street. When I came back from there and knocked the door, Ma opened the door and looked at me and said, but where is this forest man coming from? I was looking terrible. I remember that production till today, it has not been produced. What happened is that guy was caught. He went to a hotel in Fumban, Baba Hotel. He took that hotel hostage for 1 month. Would that pay a franc? I don't know the discussion that he made. After that, there was a serious fight, you know, where Nigerians removed cutlasses because, you know, they are wild. Amongst themselves, one guy was recounting his situation, how this guy took him from Nigeria and brought here. I'm sure he lost somebody and all of that. There was serious fight. A film inside a film. All kinds of things happened for the 1 month. I could see how Oscar Benson used our girls, because he would come and talk to this person like this person would come and stay with him. I looked at that situation until he was locked up. We took those images, those footages, when we came back to Bamenda. We said, if this how film shooting will be, I developed that idea that let's have a syndicate. Because at that time, I was already with syndicate issues. So I said, let us form a syndicate for actors. That is how 9 of us met here in Bamenda, and the idea came of the Actors Syndicate. Wow. It was registered as an association, the National Actors Guild of Cameroon. Why people were abusing. Many people, even some people in the industry now, they are having the Actors Guild, all of they abuse me well. They say, look at this one. People just sit in Bamenda and just do something like that, and they call it National Actors Guild, Some went and formed something in Dimbe and all of that. It was a talk of war before they accepted. Even after the national recognition, where I put in all my effort and energy, or Etan Jangi, all other things, do like this. Ma will say, I will tell Madam, money is coming. But every day, it is only about feeding it. I was on George. Each time we come to the house, when Ma will say, Mother, those things, George will say, money come, don't mind. We were always happy, hoping and working, until they finally accepted that took the bigger documents. And then now, there's a branch in the United States and all of that. I refused. After they took it like that, I said, okay, I don't want to be president. I was not doing the foundation to stand as president. Let another person take it over and put in more energy so that it goes forward. So what I'm saying, that some of those people that I used to go with them on stage plays and all of that, some of them are real mothers today and fathers. Some will say, Grandpa, that thing you have thrown us. I said, no, I did not throw you. You have thrown yourself. I'm not there because it is a bed of roses. It was not until 2016 that I started, after doing all what I've been doing, I asked myself, but what is my place? Why am I doing this art? There's something I looked at it and said, okay, build the capacity of young people. That's when I started putting more energy, even though I started doing it before. I started now putting more energy on the art. And then the idea that I'm not doing arts, not doing arts to spoil people, but I'm doing arts to transform people for the better. That is why my hope today is that one day, through God's making, when I will get the money that I desire, then this cry about productions and all of this, we have to sponsor things that is decent. Yes. Now what I'm asking, the question I'm asking, the first seminar that I attended, the second, where are those artists today? Have they come back to say, okay, from this seminar, what I gained, I've gone and done this, and it has worked like this? So if that testimony is not there, how do we think that people can be encouraged? So I'm sure that the strategy, begin to think about it. Maybe, something should be done in such a way that those who come for the artists and some come back to show that this is what I've done. I'm sure that there should be some recognition. That kind of recognition, I want to be part of it. To that kind of recognition that somebody has come, he gathered knowledge, he actually went and applied it, and then he has succeeded in doing this. And he's creating, has transformed lives. At that level, such an award should be an award that should be backed by some heavy financial contribution. So I'm very happy because it's an opportunity for me. Each time you call me, I'm coming. It's not because of what you give me, but I see that it is something with somebody who has the fear of the Lord. There's a woman that washed you in Babanki when my father died in church. The woman is of late, is man's aunt. When he washed you in church, when you were giving ministration, She just immediately said, no, this girl, there is something in this girl. Somebody who is not, the believer, in that way, said that there's something, this lady that I'm seeing, the first time she saw you ministering in church, she said, there is something in this lady. His mother always tells you that there is something in this lady. And today you see, from your persistence, you are a living testimony. You have gone through all types of situations. But like Jesus, he was on what? The humble place. The fruits of the Spirit is the language of artists. If we can take the fruits of the Spirit as our language, as artists, don't mind what is happening out there. How these people think that in the secular world they are succeeding. Lies. Petit pays today, he went and met an apostle, John G. And it was because of him that, he's still kicking, but his friends had already counted him, I'm sure they were thinking of how they would come and sing, do a great concert after his burial. Not thinking of how they can make him to change. But I'm happy that, he has finally, gone into the world, he has developed, decided to go back to the kingdom, which is important. So if there's any one thing that we should have, is the fear of the Lord. Once you are in Christ, you cannot talk about crisis. That's why I decided, after I struggled left and right, thinking that I could use my wisdom. It did not work. 2016. From 2016 up, towards not even that 2016, we went on 2018 and all of that, awards were coming. Yeah. Some even came when I was at a sick place. When it was as if I'm about to go. Yes, so since then, a number of things have happened. And today, I should be doing things for Jesus. And that's why any young man working with me, I don't give any chance. Because if that young one, no matter how talented he is, if he grows with that kind of character, and he has to be impacting people and has followers, then the number of demons that will be produced. So let me break it at that level. That's why I talk about military style. Thank you very much. I always like
Thank you so much, Grandpa.
To young people, when I see young people like this, but I've said, remember this thing that I've said.
Yes.
People will go back from the seminar and then come back and present something.
Testimonies.
Before the next seminar, testimonies of what they have done.
We have awards
I'm
for
sure
them.
that is where, a certain award should come in.
That's true.
And then all those who were for the previous seminars, we should be doers of the word and not hearers or listeners.
That's true.
So those people, think about that.
Thank you, Grandpa, please, I want to ask you, for how long did you act before you ever received your first award? This is very important because a lot of us just want to sleep and wake up receiving awards already.
I started in secondary school. All through to high school, then university, still doing it. I got the first award I think in Manila. That was the year 2000. Let me call it the recognition for the Ministry of Arts and Culture. The paper said recognizing the fact that I'm an actor, then some other regional thing came. But truly, the first award, what I call an award, sure it should be after 2016.
And that should be approximately how many years?
2008 in the north, they gave the gold medal, but today I'm still waiting for the Carolina government.
And it has not stopped you.
I remember making my way
He's been in it for so many years, and it is only after 25 years that he has been able to have a series of awards actually recognizing what he has been doing. Yet he did not give up. Excuse me. He did not give up, but some of us have been in it for just 4 years, and we want to receive Grammy Awards. Grammy Awards is not coming. We now want to pull down every other person around us that's succeeding because we think they are the ones stopping our shine. Look at how many years somebody has taken to build a career. Persistence. You've heard him cite some of the challenges, some of the difficulties that would have made him to stop. Even promises that have been made to him and were never redeemed till today. Yet those things have not stopped him. He's still on the lane. Should be signing out. But he's learning every day. He keeps learning. He keeps practicing. And now, in addition to that, he's training other younger ones because he believes that those ones also have a journey to make, and they should be making it in excellence. They should be making it in excellent skills. And crowning it all, he is trying to give purpose to the talented ones that he's training. And advising people, younger ones like you and I, that are in it, to also find purpose in it, because he has found purpose in the process. So to him now, it feels like it's a new journey altogether that he has started. He has started a new journey with purpose because he was just doing it before. But now he has identified purpose and he's attaching purpose to it. So he is kind of beginning again. I don't know what we are thinking. I don't know what the disposition of our hearts are, but I believe that we truly need to be purposeful in our persistence in the entire process of building our career. If we can concentrate on that, a lot will change, not only about us, not only about our families, but also about society. You want to be that kind of an artist who will be admired for the positive impact you made in the lives of people and not for the negative. Gone are those days when we used to think that those that do positive music or gospel music cannot make it. That has been a misconception that has swallowed up a lot of youth. So they feel like, no, if I do gospel or if I do something positive, if I do something that I'm not looking nude in the eyes of the public, then I'm not going to thrive in what I'm doing. A lot of them these days, they climb in decency. When they climb and reach the height, they start going naked. So what is the excuse? Go and study the artists in Cameroon. Study them well. Check their early days and then evaluate what they are doing now. Their early days, the positive impact, the positive music is what has lifted them up. Now they have reached up there, they have sold themselves to evil. The platform now that has been given to them by their positive impact is now being used for negative impact. Where are we going to? So the excuse is no more the fact that if I do positive music or if I look decent in my videos, I'm not going to sell. That's no more the cry. Because we have sat and watched a lot of them climb in decency to be big names, and then suddenly they get up one day and you look at them again, it's like, this is not the artist that I knew. So the excuse is not that I cannot thrive or succeed in doing the right thing or having the right purpose for my career will limit my success. There's no excuse. We have chosen our path. We have chosen our lane. We have chosen to do whatever we want to do with what we have. The excuse is never that what I'm doing cannot take me far. What people are looking for, you heard it, I don't know who said that, they are looking for the arts and not me, the person, right? So if the good art has taken you up there, you reach up there and then you start becoming a prostitute in the name of an artist and thinking that you are now going to sell better. You are a fool. You have just chosen to become a fool. Because what people are buying is not that your nakedness anymore. They were buying your art. If you want to, if they were looking for nakedness, you know, the other day I was, I think crazy things, eh? The other day I sat down and I was really asking myself, if actually what the world is looking for in an artist is that half-naked artist, is that nudity, won't they just go to a stripper's club? If that's what they are looking for, then talker. If I'm looking for a beautiful body to buy, if I'm looking for a beautiful body to admire, or I just want to admire nakedness, I'll just go to a stripper's club, right? Rather than me struggling to listen to your music instead. Or watch your video instead. But if what I'm looking for is music, good music, then I'll come to watch your art. I'll watch your song. Because I'm watching it for the satisfaction of my music desire. Now, when you start thinking that you have to add nakedness to it for me to be able to admire it, it is just proper for that person to go to a prostitute camp and just pick a prostitute from there. They will freely be naked, even on the streets, without any stress. So let's not be fooled. And some bloggers and some people will be there, you know, encouraging them and telling them, it's my art. It's your art. Feel free to do whatever you want to do with your art. Oh, you are being fooled. And you will realize it sooner or later that you were just making a fool of yourself by listening to voices of misdirection. Put yourself together. Beautiful girls are beautiful girls. Handsome guys are handsome guys. You cannot add or subtract from it. Open your body, don't open your body. You are still beautiful. You are still handsome. You are still talented. You are still skillful. And that's who you are. Let no one fool you that it is by exposing or doing all of those funny things and putting all kind of gimmicks in your songs, so that's going to make you a better artist. A better artist is a better artist. That's it. So let's watch an artist. I've really forgotten that lady's name. I really wanted to mention it, but that small Somalish actress in Black Panther. I want us to actually watch her story. Let's see how she built her career to the point of being able to pick a role in Black Panther and being able to excellently deliver it and becoming a name in the world by virtue of that particular act. It took her some process. She will share it in that interview. I think it's like 19 minutes. I really intended that we watch this because a lot of us assume that people pick success from the sky or it falls on them like overripe oranges. They don't understand that people actually, they don't understand that people actually invest quite a lot, sacrifice quite a lot, place themselves under serious self-discipline to be able to achieve the results that they have. So let's watch it for ourselves. I'm sure by the end of the video, we should be able to have the lady's name. I don't know why the name just slipped off my mind, but we really, really need to. We really, really need to watch this video. When I watched it, I couldn't help but share. There was just no way I could have just let it go. I had to share it with someone. So she has been acting for a while out away from her hometown or home country. And after the impact that she made with all her projects, Black Panther crowning it up, they decided to call her back home and honor her. And while at the ceremony, she was given an opportunity to share her story. And I was so amazed at what I heard from her. I said, no, we really have to sit down and watch this. So watch and listen to her keenly. There are chairs this way. You can just move this way and watch. After that, you go back to your seat.
I remember making my way to the BAFTAs and I said, God, fill my mouth with whatever you want me to say, if it is your will for me to win. And the moment they said my name, I hugged my father, and I'm passing Viola Davis, and I'm passing. I remember making my way to the BAFTAs and I said, God, fill my mouth with whatever you want me to say, if it is your will for me to win. And the moment they said my name, I hugged my father, and I'm passing Viola Davis, and I'm passing Spike Lee, and I'm thinking to myself, what am I gonna say? And if you've ever seen me, I was in an all-white suit, and if you've ever heard that speech, that was literally deposited into my spirit from the Lord. And I just wanted to share something that He placed in my heart to share. And I feel like He's doing that right now. So I just want to begin by honoring not only the Vice Chancellor and everybody that came together to do this for me and to honor me. I just want to also honor my father and my grandmother who's here. I want to honor my mom who's back in England, my family, my siblings, my aunties and uncles who are also here in this country, and my Aunt Tessa in the United States, and my cousins, just all my family members and everybody who has supported me, my sister Daisha, my beautiful friend Hayden. These are all people who have stood behind me and have nurtured me with love. I come from a very humble family. My grandfather, Mr. Wrights, it is an S at the end. So if you know, you know. And I come from a very beautiful family that have always loved me. I grew up in Good Intent in the West Bank of Guyana. And I was that little girl that went from house to house, and no matter what I wanted, Sunny D, ice cream, just someone to talk to. My compound was filled with love and family, and that's all I know. So as you see me, you may expect someone from Hollywood to have a certain way of being or carry themselves in a certain way. And as you see me, you see humility, and that's literally from my family, and that's literally from God. And I don't know any other way else to be. Than to be humble, because I truly believe there's a particular scripture in the Bible that speaks about the wedding banquet, and I've been meditating on that for the past few days. And Jesus speaks of, when you are invited to the wedding banquet, do not take the high seat, take the lowly seat, and wait for the person who's in charge to honor you, who's been given the responsibility of honoring you to say, hey, why are you sitting in the lowly seat? Please come forth to the high seat. And I carry that with me in my career, I carry that with me in my life, and I want to share that with you today. That no matter where you are going, no matter what your path is, please do it with humility and trust that God will exalt you when it's time. I always waited for my moment. If you know me, you know, especially from yesterday's performance, I visited beautiful schools, and there was one place in particular we all gathered. I think it was about 30 something schools. It was beautiful. And they reenacted my childhood to the T. The long boots and everything. I had the little Black Panther next to me giggling. He said, why is that girl wearing long boots? I said, I don't know. I was laughing as she was beginning her scene. I thought, I don't know. Lo and behold, she was representing me. And those moments really came back to me, being a young girl and practicing my art when no one could see. Going to the UK and not having enough to go on holiday or do the other things that the kids did, but I stayed with a little laptop in my room and watched movies. And I would print off the scenes and I would practice them in my room, and no one would see. No one would see me practicing my American accent or my African accent, or just looking myself in the mirror, believing that I could do it, making myself vision boards that sometimes I would rip up when life would knock me down or knock my family down. You would not believe the obstacles we have overcome to even be here. It was not given to us in a silver spoon. We worked very hard. I watched my parents